All right, now let's go to 5.6, and I believe that is our last consent agenda item. 5.6 is approve continuation of proclamation declaring a Clear Lake Hitch emergency, and I believe this was pulled by Supervisor Pyska.
Yes, and I think that we should reapprove this today, but I do want to pull it and see if we can have consensus for a presentation in the future. The Farm Bureau had their presentation a couple weeks ago, and so there's a lot's happened since we were here a year ago, and I think it's prudent to kind of revisit this and see what our next steps are.
Okay. Any comments or questions? Supervisor Green.
Refresh my memory. It seems we did just revisit this. Wasn't that long ago, a couple months. And we doubled down at that point. So is there
Yeah, so Supervisor Spatier had brought it up in December, asking these questions, but that summit had just happened, which was not public for the presentations, and the Farm Bureau did have presentations, which were for the public, and I think it's prudent for the board to have a chance to review what's happened over the last year. And last year we made this proclamation with the best available information we had, and a lot's happened. We had a pretty big water year. We had a really big hitch run. And we do have a lot of grants that are tied to this emergency right now and funding opportunities. So I'd just kind of like to put all of that out for a discussion for all of us.
And basically, you're asking for just an update and a presentation on the past year's happenings, activities, numbers, and things like that.
Yes.
From the agencies too, right?
Yes.
That were attendance. Yes, that would help. To have them there to explain the same way they did at that, and then also what we discussed at the forum for the Tribal Hitch Summit. Is that what you're meaning?
Yes, and the Fish and Wildlife Advisory Committee as well.
Okay.
well, I guess my question would be, the more updates, the merrier, but in the context of linking it to the continuation of the emergency, that's a slightly different animal, because we do the presentation in conjunction with the renewal of the emergency, then there's probably going to be at the ask at the end of that. I don't want to predict anything about continuing or not. Could we do the presentation without necessarily putting the proclamation under the microscope?
Well, there's a lot of questions out there, and I think if we're going to have this emergency continue, I think we all need to understand why, set some metrics or set expectations, or figure out how we move forward with this. And we do know that there is funding tied to this, but the public has a lot of questions, and I think this would be a really good opportunity for us to walk through all of that.
So my suggestion is that this be a agenda item on its own of just presentation. Just like today, any one of us can pull this item to discuss the continuation or not the continuation of. That's a possibility every time that we do a continuation. But I think that it should be a standalone item of presentation to separate it. Again, the opportunity is here every 30 days for us to pull this and discuss specifically the proclamation. I think we want to discuss specifically the Clear Lake Hitch, not the proclamation on its own. So that would be my suggestion to find the compromise and find the right pathway to move forward. That seems to be consensus as well.
I'm in agreement with that.
Okay. I'm going to open it up for the public. See if there's any comments or questions on this. And thank you for the conversation. Looking for action.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the continuation of proclamation declaring a Clear Lake Hitch emergency.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.